We're two huge fighting brothers with women naked on the internet.
No, not from the start. Never mind.
To Twitch, because we are live on Twitch right now, probably with 0 viewers. But I watched your Twitch stream, Andrew, and I came out of it when I saw you afterwards, and I said, Andrew, you need to be on Twitch because you need to help these people. I think the people who you're actually talking to, Adin Ross is pretty base, and I think he sees the light, and he needs some coaching. I'm happy to hang out with the guy. A few of the other people you were talking to, I think they're beyond fixing. But the fact that they command audiences of hundreds of thousands of young men who idolize them and wish to be like them, I feel like you need to be on Twitch, because I feel like this audience of lost young men who are going to grow up with bad, poisonous ideas need a voice like yours, maybe a voice like mine, that older brother kind of voice, to talk to them and to tell them about how the world really works. So I don't remember the guy's name. Apparently he's super famous, but I watched this podcast, and am I right? This guy was saying, in hypothetical scenarios, you and your girl are upstairs in your house, someone breaks in, who goes downstairs to confront the burglars? He started coming up with hypotheticals that his girl was a super soldier and might be a better shot than him, and they negotiate who goes downstairs to confront the people who broke into the house. And like, Andrew, was that guy an actor? Was he an actor? Was he trolling you? Tell me, you spoke to the guy. I watched it. I thought he was making fun first. No, I'm gonna survive. What, let your woman die? Because I obviously have never broken into anyone's house, but if you understand what a house break-in is, they're breaking in to steal shit. If they're downstairs, they're coming upstairs, because that's where the good shit is. There is no hiding and negotiating with your woman. Someone is going to have to confront the burglars, and that person is going to be me. In 100% of scenarios. Me with a woman, 100% of scenarios, I'm going down to confront the burglars. Now, this guy, I think he was trolling you, and he must have been making it up.
No, Twitch is important for me because there's a lot of people on Twitch who need my help. I'm sent from another dimension. I call myself Morpheus, saying I'm hacking the Matrix, but you can say it's a certain wormhole, whatever you want to call it.
It is the wormhole.
I'm from another dimension, and I'm here to help the young men of the world. It's amazing to me that young men will sit on Twitch and play video games all day long and spend all of their time trying to amass virtual currency so that they can spend that virtual currency becoming as big, strong, rich, important as possible. But in the real world,
video games.
In video games. But in the real world, they don't do the exact same thing. You're supposed to amass currency, and you're supposed to use your time cleverly to upgrade your character.
IRL.
Life is a video game. You don't need the games in and of themselves. And I have nothing against the guys I've been twitching with, but you're right. There's a very, very strange worldview where a man has no fundamental duty and no innate responsibility to defend a female who he loves in the event of a house break-in. Once you stand there and say, well, she might be a better shot than me, that is the biggest cop-out BS.
Well, his girlfriend is not a police officer. She's a Twitch streamer. His girlfriend is not an army super soldier. She's a Twitch streamer. I Googled who his girlfriend was.
Correct.
So why was he saying this?
And that's the point. So it's actually a very dangerous worldview where men have no duty and no responsibility, because the only thing that keeps the world functioning is when men have duty and responsibility to doing the hard things they're not supposed to do because they are men in and of itself. That's the reason it's women and children first in the lifeboat. The problem with the world today is that not enough men feel this duty, and this is a person with a huge influence, a huge channel, trying to broadcast and convince the world that you have no innate responsibility as a man, and I disagree with that. Also, we were disagreeing on the fact about women and how women should act in respect. He was saying that I was fearful for my girl to go to a club. It's not about that. It's not about fear. It's about respect. And you was recently highlighted in the super chat we got earlier on that his chick is dancing on some other dude.
Yeah, in fact, that's bad.
That's
bad.
Well, is that respectful?
Well, I feel like he has to. Now I understand why he was defending this ridiculous behavior so fervently. Because, I mean, well, this is fine.
I mean, we don't know the context. We don't know. If
Wait, was this is this before or after they were dating?
Andrew, I am your best friend. If your girl tried to dance with me like that, I'd push her the fuck over.
Yeah, no, we would never be with girls.
Obviously.
But my point is, like, maybe they weren't together. Maybe this is an old.
Oh, that was before they were dating. Oh, well, then
but,
who cares?
Yeah, we don't know, because we just found out. But I don't think that's a respectful way for a girlfriend to act if she was with me. And the point we're making is, the point I was trying to make at the time is about respect. It's not just about, he tried to say it was about fear. It's nothing to do with fear. It's about respect, setting boundaries as a man and being respected. I come along and I try and teach men to level themselves up, be confident, be strong, understand the true reality of the world, make sure that you have imperatives which suit your narrative, make sure you have parameters which prevent you from being disrespected and ending up being sad and lonely like most men do. He comes along and tries to argue against all of my points. And every single point he argued against, I guarantee you, if anyone here is curious...
Wait, I am a lore master. They were dating at the time. I don't even know who to trust.
Believe me, if you would agree with his worldview above mine, you will end up fucking miserable. The dude is a Twitch streamer. He makes a bunch of money with no actual... He doesn't need any physicality. He doesn't need any formidability. He doesn't need anything. Great. He's in a very fortunate situation. For most men out here, you need to be able to go through some shit to become something.
Bro, just go downstairs. Well, if you're watching xQc, just go downstairs, bro. Your house got broken into. You're the man. Just go downstairs. Your girl is not a super soldier. We just saw her dancing there. She's clearly not G.I. Jane. Yeah. Go downstairs and try to save your household and try to save your woman.
And I think that Twitch is like an untapped resource. I feel like I can really help men by being on Twitch. That's why I do these Twitches, and I hope that when I do them, I sit there and I talk to men and I explain, look, you're wasting all your time leveling up a video game instead of leveling up yourself. Look, these people you idolize on Twitch may be very good at video games, but their worldview is not going to translate well into the real world. They're very, very fortunate. They've effectively won the lottery, and if you're going to go through life thinking, I don't need to be strong, and I don't need to protect a woman, she can go downstairs, and you're going to live a good life without Twitch fame and Twitch money, you are fucked. As a man, you need to become hard to kill, and you need to become the kind of person who can deal with trauma, setbacks. You need to be the kind of person who is competent in all realms. You're not going to do that following the advice that these men give. That's why I appear from another fucking dimension to save all of you. Top G.
Prediction until he gets banned from the woke SJW moderation team. I mean, as long as he stays away from like trans issues and shit, I don't know if he will get banned. There's just like a few like really hot button topics that you kind of have to stay away from. But assuming he does that, I don't know if this guy would ever get banned unless it's like he gets like a really bad take on women or something. But
like a superhero. And when I was doing the Twitch streams, I was amazed. I was really amazed at the worldviews these men have. And if they weren't Twitch streamers, they would...
People keep saying that Andrew Tate is a known sex trafficker. I've seen you guys say this in chat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you're linking me... You're linking me articles of a police raid. Do you have any convictions? Otherwise... What? Because if nobody was arrested... Nobody was convicted. Why are you just linking me this over and over again?
Perpetually fail because you cannot be a successful man with their worldview.
No, you can't. And yeah, and he probably has enough money to hire a bunch of security guards, and he'll never find himself in that situation. But the hundreds of thousands of people watching him, you know, he's living in America. Saying, "Whoa, what kind of weird circumstance is that? Someone tries to rape your girl." Oh, what? You mean the country with the highest rape in the first world? Like, what kind of hypothetical situation is that? And you're not going to defend your woman? You're going to run away like a coward? That's never been who we are. That's never been who we are. So, I fought to defend you. When people try and start on you, I'll attack people. And you're my brother. I can't hang around with people with that mindset. The people you care about are always worth defending. And as a man, you have to do that.
You have to do it. And
He's a sex trafficker. He pays off the authorities. Okay.
It's actually quite telling because I'll make something.
It's sad.
It's sad.
It's sad.
What the problem is with a man, the problem is being a coward as a man makes you absolutely useless. You can be big and strong, doesn't matter if you're a coward. You can be rich, doesn't matter if you're a coward.
I don't hang around with cowards.
I don't hang around with cowards because cowards have no net benefit in an unfortunate situation. Why would you be friends with a guy when everything's going well? He can party in the club, drink bottles, fuck girls, everything's going well. But the second things go negative, he's going to allow you to die and he's going to run away. Why are you his friend? Fun? And I also made another point on these streams. I think it was on the Dave Portnoy BFF podcast I just did. I made a point. Birds of a feather flock together. The only people who roll with cowards are fucking cowards themselves. Yeah. Anyone who's a G rolls with Gs. If you come up on me and my team, we either all die or nobody dies. That's how it works. There's none of this shit. None of us are running away. We don't care if we're outnumbered. Don't care if you have weapons and we don't. We all die or nobody dies.
Those 7 dudes who I attacked for sitting on the car, there were 7 of them. Like 3 of them froze in fear. Why are you not helping your boys out when Tristan Tate's punching them in the face? Like, I mean, I know you were in the wrong. Your friends were in the wrong sitting on my car, but like, you're just going to let your friends get sparked? I mean, I was ready to fight everybody.
The dudes and promoting cowardice to the internet is something that's been happening for a long time. It's something he's doing, and I am the antidote. So
it's not cool.
It's not cool.
And he needs help.
And he's a nice guy, but you know, he has plenty of money. He should come to me and say, look, I have plenty of money. How do I become the man? I have unlimited money, unlimited time. Andrew, help me. I will help him. And he will change as an individual when he wakes up and he's no longer afraid to go downstairs. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying don't have an adrenaline rush. I'm not saying don't be nervous, of course, but pull the strap and go and fucking defend your house. That's the whole point. To be a man and sit there and start having a negotiation with your female about who a better shot is ridiculous. Yeah. And it's not even something you can half entertain. And I think the world knows that. The whole internet knows that. It's fine. But it's amazing that I've had to come from another dimension to point out the very fucking basics of masculinity. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. So I think I'm gonna do some super chats.
Yeah, super chats.
I hated the Adin Ross.
I'm really curious. How do you view the world, or more like relationships? Are you blue, red, or black pill?
I'm gonna borrow from old and Jordan Peterson here. I feel like I'm quoting him way too much lately.
Really skip the last one. People really change.
Yep. I think men and women are closer in temperament than people like to think. I think he said this a lot, or he used to. I don't know what the fuck he says anymore. When I think about like how I want to evaluate relationships, I feel like there's like a level 1 kind of like lizard brain thing. So like man with woman because pretty young, woman with man because lots of money, security. Like, and I mean like the lizard brain is real. Those games are being played, obviously. But when that's like the be all and end all, I think that it's a little bit hollow. I think it's strange sometimes that religious people or spiritual people, I'll say Tate is like a spiritual person. Tate seems to reject this kind of like liberal consumerist society where it's all about possessions and things and video games and money. And that's why he says he errs more towards societies that are more spiritually fulfilling. Even if it's in Dubai, you know, whether it's Allah or God, at least there's some spiritual thing going on there. He's looking for some deeper level of engagement than just like buying shit and having money, which is fair. I think that's a fair statement to say. But then I find it odd that these same people, when they view relationships, seem to have like really one-dimensional views of relationships. When you talk about like respect and power and all the stuff that as a man you're expected to have like going into a relationship. I would need a woman that was like on my level. I wouldn't be able to handle it like any other way. Like if I was with a woman that I didn't respect, and respect to me doesn't mean like takes care of the household, okay? Because a retarded 14-year-old can do that. If I wasn't with a woman that I didn't have some respect for, it wouldn't work out. And I guess I understand different people look for like different things in a relationship, but like I want a partner that can like challenge me to some extent. I want a partner that can push me to do things that I wouldn't otherwise, that like materially improves my life. Somebody that might cover weaknesses that I have, like here's a blind spot that I have, or here's something that I can't cover, whatever. Somebody that can do things that like make me a better person. Like for me, like a romantic partner or a dating partner is an addition to my life that synergizes with me, that makes me better than I could be otherwise, rather than like an object or a possession we conquered because I've achieved a certain status in my life. I think that's like a fundamentally altered way of viewing relationships versus the kind of like Christianish or spiritual tradcon guys like Tate. But that's kind of the difference. That's the difference, I guess, in how I view stuff. Like there's a lot of like super hot young women that are looking to be conquered, but like that's just, that type of relationship is like very boring to me. Fun for sex, I guess, or like fucking, but like actual dating, like fuck no. I couldn't be with anybody that I didn't respect in that manner. Why do people like Tate complain so much about how free speech is under attack in the West, but then show for the most authoritarian anti-free speech countries on Earth? Well, because when people say anti-free speech, what they really mean is like anti to the type of speech that they like. That's really what they're talking about, right? I need somebody. We need to have an official. We need to have an official article reader in stream. Most young men, all what they care about is being with attractive women, which makes Tate the role model they want to look up to. Can you say why they shouldn't follow him path? I mean, like, I really can't, I guess. Like, I don't know. I guess I have to think about, like, because in that sense, I would want to be somebody that, I guess, like, molds people into wanting different things. I personally find those types of relationships really unfulfilling, but if you do find those fulfilling, I mean, what could I say to convince you otherwise? I'm not even sure. I don't know. I've never really thought about that question before.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
Do opposites really attract, or do we try to find people similar to us? I still haven't figured that one out yet. I'm not sure. There's still like that chemistry thing that I don't know how to ever account for or answer for, that is still elusive to me in terms of like good explanation. People dynamics, romantic dynamics are like one of the few things I think in life that I've never found, even as I come to understand them a little better, I've never found a way to like explain it well. I have no idea why. I can't do it. Like, I never would have thought that I would have gotten along as well as I did with your mom last night. But here we are. I'm about to break up with Mel and go marry her because I love fucking your mom. Everybody stand for xHamster. Oh, shit. I should change his name to that, actually. Why don't you use TTS to read articles? Because it's not the same. Based. Do you think Tate would accept it if his girl left him for a better guy, or would he soy out? I mean, he'd probably be upset, but assuming he's consistent with his own life philosophy, I mean, he'd accept it and try to up his game, right? Why do you keep saying xHamster? It's at Hamster Hawk? Because xHamster is an incredibly popular prawn site. Where do you think Hamster Hawk got his name from? You know that was the inspiration for it, right?
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
Probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flows.
this is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you're going to go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988, they're going to say we should have done something about it then. If you go to the police and say he raped me yesterday, say, okay, if you've got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, I'd say, oh, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex, and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, and I didn't text back, and now she's saying I raped her. The police would be like, okay, she's an idiot, bye. But no, not in the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story, you're still fucked. You're fucked in the West.
The, first of all, he looks like a fucking skinwalker right here. But, unfortunately, so this is one of the reasons why it's so important to, fuck, I should have brought more torches. This is one of the reasons why it's so important to push back on some of the bullshit rape stuff we see. It's kind of hard to attack him on this, given the unbelievable fucking stories we've read recently, right? He's not really saying the statement that they're saying in this tweet.
People say, why did you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free. And if you're a man living in England or Germany or America or any of the Western world right now, you've decided to live in a country where any woman, any ex, any fucking bitch who works at Greg's who you bought a pasty from, at some point in the future can destroy your life. This Me Too era bullshit has not protected women. It's just destroyed the safety of men.
Can we not look at the actual stats of false rape accusations? They're probably not that high. But again, remember what I said before. The issue isn't going to be the actual numbers. It's going to be how many people defend it, right? I think if it was the case that every time a woman tried to do like kind of one of these more bullshit like Me Too's, which unfortunately there are a decent number of them today, anytime that happens, if everybody on the left would also like, hey, this is bullshit, you need to fuck off, then we'd be like, it'd be chill. We'd be big chill. But the problem is that's not what happened. The problem is people will like go like, you know, fly head over heel to defend some of these like unbelievably stupid stories. And then that's where you get the case where this is how the phenomenon happens, where you build a majority bad opinion out of a minority of actual cases. It's because the majority will step up to defend these horrible fucking things, not because the majority of these things are happening, right? Do you still identify as a feminist? Yeah, I would say I would. I don't want to like run from the labels because some people poison them. I'd rather fight to take them back.
Obama.
What if Tate was paraplegic, but you expect the woman to stay in the bed, or is he supposed to sonic roll down the... I don't know why you're asking retarded questions. I guess it makes feelings like the Tara Reid is no more believed by a lot of people. I don't know. I actually don't know if Tara Reid is believed by a lot of people. That was a good example, though. Progressives loved that rape story, too, because it was about Biden. I think that was one of the first big, super shady Me Too cases. Like one of the first hugely public ones, but... You're too nice, this Andrew guy, but he has no sincere spirituality. People like being around religious people, but aren't religious themselves, are cancer. They just like conformity and easygoingness. Maybe. I don't know if that's the case. I think there's something to be said for a perceived spiritual death of the West, right? I think that's why Russia views itself as being, in a way, like the philosophical successor to Western society, and one of the reasons why inevitably the West will fall is because like of a lack of spiritual guidance. Whether that's true or not, the perception at least exists.